People don't call no more. All they do is text. Biblical inspiration. The Lord is near to all who call on him, to all who call on him in truth. The 145th Psalm, verse 18. Real moment. During my daughter's most recent winter break, she was texting a friend on the phone when she asked me if she could just call her friend. Of course, I told her it was cool, and she quickly dialed the number. Talking on the phone with her friend was what she did most of the break when the family festivities were chill. Every now and again, I would hear her talking about all the things and coordinating their online game. I even managed to tell her, "You've been talking all day," and heard her annoyance, I'm sure paired with an eye roll, as she told her friend that she had to go and would talk to her later. That brought back a memory. I never would have thought that talking on the phone would inspire such a sense of nostalgia. I remember being my daughter's age and talking on the phone with my friends all of the time. My pocket-sized phone book held the numbers of my contacts, organized from A to Z with scratched out names and maybe a few hearts, *67, *69, and three-way calling, six-way calling if two people had three-way, were the latest and greatest. I was a master of talking past curfew and coordinated the logistics of ensuring that the ringers were turned off on all of the phones and that they were all turned back on so I didn't get caught. Each of those phone calls always began with the same disclaimer: if I hang up, don't call me back. Seriously, just thinking about it makes me smile. But when I start to think about how difficult it is to have a phone conversation these days, I start to feel a little sad because I realize how sometimes a text message just feels different and disconnected. I even mentioned something to my husband, who shared that a friend told him once, "If I have to call you every day, we can't be friends." We laughed. I wouldn't be keeping it real if I said at the end of a long day, sometimes I reach for my phone to call a friend who has crossed my mind, heart, and decided to send a text instead. Even though I would like to hear their voice and catch up on all the things, I find myself feeling that a call is a disruption rather than a welcomed interruption. I'm 100% owning the priority of continuing to grow and connect with people, with my friends, even in 2023, where people don't call no more. All they do is text. Moment of clarity. This moment has really reminded me of what a friend we have in Jesus. Even though I may not always be able to call or talk to my friends, I can always call on him and he will always be there. While no friendship on earth is perfect, the one we have with Jesus is. It doesn't require a landline, wireless network connection, or a charged battery. However, there is a requirement on our part, even for this relationship. Matthew 7:7 reminds us to ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and the door will be open to you. These are actions that we have to take. Similarly, there are actions that need to be taken when a friend calls us. I have to make a decision to answer the call or at minimum return the call versus replying with a text or ignoring it altogether. There are a lot of benefits to sending a text message, but there's something that a text can't do, in my opinion. It can't truly capture the emotions of the life I am living, no matter the amount of emotions inserted in the text chat. Most importantly, it doesn't communicate the same message of "you are worth the time" as a call. Jesus says, "Greater love has no one than this, that someone lays down his life for his friends." John 15:13. And that is exactly what he did. His sacrifice to give his life for me makes my consideration of sacrifice time to call a friend look like a speck of dust. I'm not the 11-year-old girl plotting her next after curfew phone call or counting down the days until her bestie gets off a phone punishment. My roles have certainly multiplied and time is much more limited. While I am committing to reaching out and dialing my friends' numbers more, I pray for moments when I'm unable to reach them, either through call or text. They remember the Lord is near to all who call on him, to all who call on him in truth. Psalm 145, verse 18. Call him, he will answer.